Yep, so Interfire will pick CT. Lavender will start Terrace side. They had some struggles on their T side last half as far as in the second end of the matchup, but they should be starting strong here tonight. The pistol round will kind of dictate the pace. We'll see what they bring to the table. Looks like 4 alternate and 1 going straight towards Banana. There's a 3 Banana setup for Interfire Esports, but it's a passive style setup, and they're going to go straight up middle fast. They're going to smoke off the direction of the stack, which is perfect if you're looking to get Lavender into this round. Lethality will find 1 through the smoke, but that's going to be it. They're going to get Insight with no problem. Pat will take a little bit of damage, but that's going to be it. Bomb goes down. The CT side does have 1 kit on Harlow, so they'll have a chance to defuse with only 5 seconds. Question is, how quickly are they going to try to make this retake take place? Dank going to flash for his teammate at porch side, but no one's there. Dank's going to try to probably go for that peek, depending on what he sees here. Classic gets the first. It's got the trade possibility here with Pat. The headshots are good, and the trades and the crossfires are just perfect. They asked all the right questions and got exactly what they needed to answer there. That's a good pistol start for Lavender.
I just really like that they go post plant and everybody plays good complementary angles of each other. Great crossfire setup. They play the contact very well. And then they finish off the round with some extremely nice team play. They only lose 1 right there when it comes to their trades because they're not over-aggressing, they're not over-peaking, and giving Interfire a chance to get back into that round. Very nice job from Lavender to start this game.
No doubt. Interfire already thinking about next round. They want to buy next round, so you'll see their investment be very low here. The Eagles, though, could be very dangerous, as you see Classic and Pat both going down early. It's now a 3v5. Just with a flick of a mouse. Lethality even will pick up a USB headshot onto HardFluff, which will scare him away with that Mag-10. And right now, Lavender is in a very scary space as they do not have bomb control. All the way on this side of the map, they've got pretty much all the CTs in CT spawn. And now HardFluff is going to be the next victim of a Deagle, and it's a 2v5. This round's going to be almost impossible to swing back their way. Dank's going to have to come up huge here. He will secure 2. Looking for a 3rd, and he almost secures it. Lethality is bleeding. So Dank buys some room for Shuba. They're going to redirect and go back towards bomb now. They will retain that, and look at this. B is completely clear. If they do this quickly, they've got a chance to take B completely over with not a single CT presence. But they don't know what we know. The information is not there to them. Smokes to come in. The reactions from the CT spams. Lethality is very close on that end. And here we go. They're going to wait for the plant. They're going to boost over. The planter will not die because Shuba is there to protect him, and he'll find another one through smoke. There's a chance. Frost has that Galil. He finds the first one, knows the other one's Banana due to the smoke. And he will just barely not be enough as Shuba pulls it away. And a 2-0 start for Lavender was looking really rocky, but here we go. They've got the opportunity.
That round in its entirety is a clinch round. I don't know how. It seems like Lavender in these after they win pistol, they go gun round, right? They go Mac-10 heavy, they get 2 Galils. And somehow they always find themselves in a really bad spot. We saw it on Vertigo where they almost got aced by a 5-7. In this situation, they go down 2v5. I mean, it's tough, right? I don't understand what's happening that allows them to get in these positions. But luckily, Shuba and Dank are just on another level right now and decide to clean everything up. And here's Lethality looking to pick one up again. Dank out of the round. AK-47 in the hand of Lethality. The one guy you don't want it to be in the hands of.
Yeah, right now what they're doing is they're just simply walking right into the crossfire of the Deagles. The fact that Lethality and Interfire Esports decided not to reinvest here was surprisingly enough. They were like, you know what? Deagles work so well with no armor. Let's try them again with an armor purchase and see if we can steal the round away without investing. And right now, it looks good. It looks very good. They've got 3 on a retake on Banana. Terrace will have plant, so there's at least that money in their pocket, but they are very, very low on money. The smoke may actually be good, even though that was not intended. Could give Shuba some chance to really try to pull through here. Lethality to molly off. Dark corner, but no one's home. They're both playing CT angles. And here you go. They've now got site cleared. They know that the players are going to be from other angles. The plant and defuse is possibly here. with Leaves jumping on the bomb on a 10-second defuse from CT. They cannot find the lineup. The shot is difficult enough. They're going to get one through the smoke, but the defuse is solid. And there we go. They're going to win this by defuse. Straight up and down. Shuba, last man alive. He's got the opportunity to get a kill, but he does not. Leaves will get the extra money in his pocket. So Interfire's right. They make the perfect call. They decide not to go for a full investment and steal a round away.
Yeah, the pistols are just so strong for whatever reason against Lavender. We see it again where, I mean, you go into apps and Lethality just on an off angle for that window jump is able to punish Dank immediately and upgrade to an AK. And then they're on their ass in Banana immediately. The Deagle was already shooting your player at top Banana before he's even able to get up there and shoot us. So really, really tough round there again for Lavender. They're going to go ahead and full reinvest 2 AKs, 2 Deagles, a CZ, light utility against 3 M4s, an AK, and a MAC-10 with a full buy on the side of Interfire. This one's going to be tough to pull back, and really the economy game is going to be in shambles.
Yeah, and the thing about that is even if Interfire gives this round up because they decided to reinvest the way they did last round, they're not worried. They can get another buy round off this. But that's if they don't pull this one away. There's a boost on top of balcony. There's a smoke on left and right mid. The boost falls off, which is good for them because that could have been dangerous for Lavender. Lethality will molly off balcony to buy some breathing room, which is good because Dank's on the other side of it. And right now, A is buttoned up. They're just kind of holding brackets, but surprisingly enough, the B players are not rotating and budging at all. And the fallback from Lavender is they think they've got the read on the rotation. There's truly nothing rotated. There's still 2 inside B. It could still be good no matter what, but you're taking 3 players against 2, and the smoke in the front side is going to buy more time. They're going to go run right into a completely waiting Interfire team. This could be a massacre. 1 and 2 spray downs, but thankfully Dank opens this up with another. 1 more player inside. Classic will finish him off, and it's a 1v2 attempt at this point. Plant should come in easily. Lethality is bleeding. He's got 22 HP, so there's an opportunity there to make this a 1v1. Misses his first shot. Starts to cross back towards back hall. Heat from Lethality, though, is just perfect and pristine. Literally 1 second later, he would have been off his radar. 1 second earlier, he would have been completely prepared for him. A good play there from Lethality, and Interfire will pick up the second round in a row. And now T Economy, I mean, the plant helps, no doubt, but they're definitely going to be forced to save here.
I definitely like the idea of the fake, right? You get into bracket control, you try and lurk one towards the arch side if you're Lavender. That's a great idea. I just think it was a little too... It wasn't dynamic enough, right? The B players just sat. They didn't flinch. The A players just sat. They didn't flinch either. It literally, like, I think you just need a little bit more presence maybe in Banana, have them use some of that utility on that B site so that when you go to execute, you're not fighting through that as well. And, you know, try and make it a little more convincing. Don't telegraph so much.
Yeah, now you know the rotation from Interfire is really not too clear. Obviously, they wait on numbers and confirmation before they budge, so you can play around with that a little bit. As long as you're not giving numbers away too early, you can really make them regret not rotating. Good mollies and good nades coming down from Interfire, but the first kill goes to Classic with a Deagle on top Banana. They recover the AK, which is potentially very strong. The re-smoke. What the play for HardFluff, reads it on that perfectly. The AWP not effective at the angle, and the smokes to come in to completely separate him from the defense. And now you've got a 3-man rotation. It's all coming from one singular direction, right into the waiting hands of that back hall CT spawn area. Leaves will get 1, but he's incredibly low. Lethality there to get the trade on the Pat, and now it's a 3v3, all evened up. But Lethality and Leaves are both hurting. The molly is good. HardFluff forced to aggress off of it, and now just like that, you blink and it's a 1v3. Shuba forced to make the difference, and unfortunately for him, Harlow has the lineup. The defuse will come in, and Interfire will take another one away from Lavender. That one looked really good for a minute there, Matt.
Yeah, that's a very disappointing round for Lavender. I don't understand Dank and Pat trying to aggress into that little graveyard area right outside the construction doorway. They give themselves up for free. There's no trade potential there. The flash is extremely ineffective, and even if it's an okay flash, it's very easily read coming off the wall. I don't get why you do that in a post-plant situation.
Look at this aggression coming out from Interfire, getting aggressive, getting in the face of Lavender, asking questions, getting answers, and even though they lose a 3v3 there and they all go down to 2 remaining players, it's a good setup. Interfire makes Lavender aware that, hey, we can change it up at any time. You need to be careful. Lavender gets the correct read that A is clear, but Dopa rotates right into one and finds Classic alone. Pat has to go wide to make sure he's got sight clear. He'll get the plant with no problem, but now he's got 2 players in front of him to block the win. He's going to smoke his lane off, which gives him the chance. Lethality is going to reconnect to the game. Maybe his lag is still affecting him and just not being able to be seen from the player side. Pat now has an inkling of where the 2 players may be coming from. His Arches is still pretty much clear from his angle. Look at this. He's going to go all the way around, possibly. No, going to look to Molly defensively. Kind of gives away his position a little bit. I would think he would run around with it, but he's not. Pat finally makes the shot, but the damage and the... Yeah, he should have gone around. He's got no time on the defuse. Frost will get the squeaky defuse, and Pat tries to find him through the smoke, but cannot. So, honestly, I thought it was a perfect play. I thought he was going to molly that, Matt. I thought he was going to run completely the other way around to get them completely just, discombobulated, but clearly that did not take place.
Yeah, sticking around at that arch moto angle is the worst play that you can make in that situation. You literally planted the bomb and then put yourself in a position where you can't defend that bomb whatsoever. And as you see, that's exactly what happens there. Even if he, obviously he can pick up that kill a little bit quicker for the first, but it doesn't matter. The defuse is only 5 seconds. They have a kit, and for you to get into that angle and then spray through the smoke to make sure it happens you didn't set yourself up for success very well. I agree with you. I thought as soon as he started walking towards that arch, he was just going to walk all the way through brackets, come all the way around, and he was going to dump them. Like, as soon as he heard a defuse or whatever, he was just going to bank the molly off the wall right on the bomb or whatever the case. And instead, he just, the molly was ineffective, didn't slow him down at all, and he puts himself in a terrible spot to try and defend that.
Still lots of game left to play, but right now, Lavender a 4-0 down start after being up 2-0. They need to make this gun round count. The CT economy is hurting because the player is alive. 3-op kill for the lethality on the Shuba. Entry point into middle looking for more. Classic is going to give him a chance. Takes a couple shoulder shots. A good flashes to support there from Pat. He'll go right into the site. Gun out. Lethality in trouble. He'll find him. One more graveyard. Getting shots off there as well. And they are trying to find him. They eventually do. There's one more player sitting Moto aside. It's a 2v3. Doppler is low. Harlow and Frost with full rotation, 100 HP. The mollies are good to keep them off a default plant, but they're going to be planted in sight, which opens things up for that grenade. Doppler, perfect timing with that utility. Dumps it onto the head of Pat and Tank, and here comes some more. Smoke over the top. Harlow finds the first one, and Tank is just in so much trouble. He may get one. He does. Looking for a second. He can't be fast enough. That angle is impossible to no-scope on from there, and he will drop. 5-2 now. 5 rounds in a row for Interfire, and their money, while hurting, will help a lot here with this round pickup. They'll have to drop leaves. Lethality will have enough to buy. Frost will have enough to buy. And the T economy, thankfully, because they've lost 5 in a row, they should be able to buy pretty much all the way through.
Yeah, they're able to buy all the way through until they win one. Then that gets reset, and you have to win that next one no matter what your money looks like. So it's going to be an uphill battle. Interfire on a 5-round win streak right here. Looking strong so far in their CT setups.
Very, very good. And they're changing it up every round. Now you've got another setup here where they went 2 strong banana with 1 flashing over. You got Doppler's rotating back all the way around to A, which is definitely currently looking like the favored bomb side for Lavender. Lethality to get the clear angle with the AWP, knows that there's no one in banana. So how does Lavender answer back? One smoke left side, middle to clear their left side. They'll wait for that to bloom. Flash comes back over the top into middle bracket. And they all peek together. This very good unit there, but no one is there. So you've got bracket control, literally losing 0 players. The CT rotation is early this time because you've got lethality at top control with Banana. That's the biggest thing there is the AWP has that control, and you have a total lack of information still sitting at brackets at 55 seconds. Where do you pull that information from? You can re-challenge towards B, you can challenge towards arches, and maybe that direction where they want to go is inside arches to look for some kind of swing around. Topless thinks they're made effective, but the grenade is so good. He's got the cheat code in CS right now. Grenade damage. Does 52 to Pat there with one grenade, but gets caught off from lane. He's got a chance to get more, though. The spray down is strong. Eventually trades there. He really shouldn't even be getting two at that angle. He was caught completely off guard, but for some reason, Lavender was not able to connect, man.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Like, they had a clear plan going into the round, and I feel like they executed on their plan. Obviously, it doesn't work out. They go into the stacked site, which obviously they don't know. We see that a whole lot differently. But there's just no other presence towards B, so they're able to single hold with an op at top Banana with zero challenge. You threw like one molly up towards the top, and that was about it. And then everything else is, you know, you're just sitting in brackets. You're not forcing any utility usage. You're not forcing any info. That you're just sitting and waiting. And unfortunately, that was the wrong round to do that.
Yep. And I mean, the interesting thing was, right, like Interfire in previous rounds, because they didn't have the control, they just sat in B. But because they got that Banana control, they said, okay, well, we're going to go stack 4A. And sure enough, and Lavender is just hurting right now. They decided to kind of go for a lower investment. They definitely had enough money to re-AK, but with light utility. And instead they go Deagle heavy with one Galil on the hands of Pat, which we'll watch him this round, because usually he is one of the first to take fights. Early molly response from the CT side in middle to make sure they cannot get up in their face fast. And again, I mean, definitely favoring the A side of the map. They're going to walk right into the waiting hands of Lethality again, who's got that op angle. First kill goes to him. HardFluff drops. The pistols are trying to respond, but they can't do anything. That pillar is in their way. Pat wants something to do with something, but he gets dropped as well. That's a 4K. Easy for Lethality, and now he's looking for the Ace. Classic tries to punish him with a Deagle. Smoke exchange. Classic's going for it, or I should say Lethality's going for it. He's going to drop an AWP to Classic, and now Classic thinks he's got a fighting chance. He's going to run right through the smoke, right into the waiting hands of Harlow. And it's just an exchange. He actually goes the other way where Doppler was running down, and he gets dropped until Frost eventually gets the trade. So I'm sure they're happy to get 2 kills out of the round where they had a 4K presented to an AWP, but Lavender right now needs to find a way to get a W on a round and start to come back in this half, because 2 rounds is not where you want to finish.
A tempo change anywhere would be wonderful right now. This is where I talk about having a change of speed on your T side. Everything's been pretty slow, pretty thought out, utility here, utility there. This is where you just go quick and you punch somebody in the mouth.
Yep, it's going to be the opposite side of the map, though. The CTs get aggressive. They get aggressive on both sides of the map, both B and A. And right now, they're shutting things down. Harlow gets total control bottom middle. The CTs get total control B. Now you got Dank trying to respond, and last man standing is going to be HardFluff with the AWP. So instead of a change of pace coming from Lavender, it was from Interfire. They said they're going to dictate the control of this game, even on the defensive side. And so far, they have been doing a freaking excellent job of doing so. HardFluff would love to make this round winnable, but four players away from doing so. And the CTs have not shying away from their middle control. It doesn't matter. Lethality's just watching the stairway. Headshot comes in for him, and 8-2 to Interfire. And I would love, Matt, and to your credit, I would love to just see an SMG armor buy and go straight up Banana, go straight up Apartments, do one of those 2 things just to get some wiggle room here, as Interfire just has no fear of aggression.
Yeah, so they clearly heard what I had said, and they said, yep, we got you. They go ahead. They're dictating the pace. They are dictating the control and the economy of this game. 8 rounds now in a row for him, and Lethality going to open it up on HardFluff yet again, only on Deagles. Lavender has to have a change of pace. They have to do something to put Interfire on notice and make them think a little bit. And right now it's not happening.
And the Deagles have been attempted multiple rounds at this point. It seems like every time they have a Deagle, they've got lethality and waiting with the AWP on the angle, and he is just doing tons of work. This is why he's leading his team in ADR and kills, is because he's straight up dominant on that op. And you've got Dank again trying to work his way up apartments and out a balcony, looking for players and kills. He's going to probably throw them. No, decided against it. Yeah, here it comes. He's going to throw a little smoke onto the balcony, which is going to kind of create a little bit of a one-way and some just general presence out the apartment balcony, which will hold the CTs there. And then you're going to have 3 players trying to take in the B-bomb site right now, running right into Frost and Doppler. So there you go. They've deleted him. Now it's all down to Dank, who's really got no idea what he wants to do here. Would love to turn 0 kills into several, at the very least. Walks right into the waiting hands of Doppler, who shuts another player down. And now at this point, you are 1 round away from losing the half in a dominating fashion. 9-6 would be nice if you could pick up 4 rounds in a row. It's not a bad half for the start.
Yeah, but it all starts here, right? You finally have a gun round. You have full utility. There's a pause that comes in, whether that's Inner Fire or Lavender. You get to talk about it on the Lavender side regardless. They need to go to whatever they think their best strat is, whatever they are most comfortable with. You know what? Maybe even throw the strats out the window and just say, hey, go find an opening wherever you're most comfortable. And then let the round snowball from there, whatever it is. Because the way that they're approaching these rounds right now, they're allowing Inner Fire to absolutely demolish everything that they want to do. They are in full control. And obviously you got to change something, right?
Something has to change, but I've been in these situations before where it feels like I can't change anything because the other team is just outplaying me so well and they're controlling the map so well. The only way that you can make the change is by punching them in the mouth, as you would say, on a straight up hit somewhere in some direction. But waiting for them to answer back is not the answer. Pat delivers a little bit of damage through the waiting wall of apartments, and that's going to make the knowledge known to Dank, who turns around and gets 1. He's completely unaware there's another, but hears the noise and leaves. Is able to capitalize just barely. Again, he's super low because of that spam down from Pat. It's a 4v4 you definitely take every single time, but the question is, why is HardFluff in team starting to run up into that middle bracket area? Right now they've got control already, so if they go up into arches, they've got even more, but a good fallback would be perfect here. You've only got lethality inside at B. You've got 3 CTs at A. Bomb is still down back towards Banana. So right now, if you redirect, maybe even leave Pat there a little late, which eventually he rotates out. Right now, you got to go. I mean, you've already made the noise, and now you've shown that you're no longer there. The resmoke from Pat may buy them some time on that rotation, but not much. You have to take B control over now. And you've got to do it with some convincing executions, or else Lethality's just going to have another field day at this position. They're in Banana.
Yeah, we're just taking so long.
Yeah, absolutely. Here comes the molly. Here comes the smokes. The smokes are good. Lethality's going to go out around him. He's going to find 1 singular kill, but then gets traded out by Pat, and you've got the last 2 CTs. 3 alive. So 1's in construction, 2 coming up Banana. It's a one-way here for Frost. A little scary. Plan does go down, but Doppler gets the first. Frost on the angle, finds the second, and now it's all down to Pat. He's low, and he'll get lost as well. So, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. You know, you do a good job of saying, okay, we're in middle, and then you go silent. You go completely silent. You execute way too late. Your utility should have been in your hand the second you entered Banana, and you should have just ran straight up. That's just the answer that it should have been, but unfortunately for them, they take way too long going into the site, and you get a repeat of rounds that you've already had before. Now 10-2 for Inner, and possible 13-2 finish at this point.
I mean, it's slow enough to the point that those A players towards mid are able to be almost all the way down mid into Banana by the time you start the game. That's insane. You did such a good job of pulling the rotation that you wanted to pull, having the control that you wanted to control to make the round yours, and then you just stop and you go dead, and you end up dead because of it.
Again, this passive style of Counter-Strike is making me nauseous. You've got everybody at a passive position. Bomb was again down to the very back of T-spawn. This is not a good T-side. This is not what you want to see. I love the utility usage that they do have, but most of it is just to set themselves up for middle fights. And then there's no middle fights. I mean, Interfire, when they're not in the aggression setup, they are completely passive. And they are like, all right, well, come fight us. If you want to find us, you know where to see us. But there is nothing there to respond on. And because that strategy isn't opening well for them, Lethality is taking banana control. No problem with that AWP, which allows 4 players to rotate. Now you've got another 5v4 fight at A. Dank's going to try to use his one way again, coming out of apartments to isolate a fight. Harlow in trouble. Eventually gets the kill. Doppler gets 2 just like he does every single round. Eventually gets raided. But there you go. Frost to pick up another. Just a good CT exchange. All the way across the board. Smoke is terrible. Dank, thankfully, though, wins the gunfight. And now it's all on to the man. Lethality, who's done a great job so far tonight of hitting his shots and making them count. A 1v2 is difficult enough, but he finds the first one on Pat, and Dank is ready for the trade. Good trade attempt there, and Lavender finally finds the round on a gun round. First one to them this entire half. 10-3. 2 rounds needed in order to make this somewhat decent.
And here's the best part about that round, right? You mentioned it. The utility looks great. The utility usage, they've clearly practiced it. And it looks pretty. That round had nothing to do with their utility usage whatsoever. That round was strictly trading each other's kills and playing scrappy Counter-Strike to find a way to win the round. So, if it's me, I'm asking, can we just forget the utility? Use basic utility. Throw a smoke left side, throw one moto, and then just as you're running up, the last 2 people dump flashes, whatever it is, and just go and frag out. Stop overthinking and using every piece of utility to clear out every little corner that there is, and start just grouping and going, because those are the rounds that you're winning. It's not these rounds where you're just outthinking the team and outplaying them with your utility.
Just simply going and doing would not be a bad decision. This round, Lethality is towards the A-bomb site. Their aggression attempted, excuse me.
You good, dog?
Their aggression was attempted towards alternate middle with Lethality's molly. It slowed them down quite a little bit, but again, clearly they want to drive towards mid. Let's see if they can approach Lethality here with any kind of different pace. One goes wide, one gets answered back. They're really close to the trade, but Leaves is right there with the AWP and the M4. The exchange is just too good. Lethality is not going to be caught off guard, and he is literally dropping bodies. HardFluff, AWP, last man standing. This looks familiar. He'll find Lethality, drop his op out of the round, but he's in trouble. He's got 1 player apartments, 1 player alternate, 2 players rushing down from B. He actually has A site clear right now, but has no idea where the numbers are exactly at. 1 more will be bottom mid. He'll miss that first shot. 1 more coming up apartments, and he doesn't even have a chance to respond. They will drop the round after finally winning that elusive first, and so they'll be forced into a forced round for the final round of the half.
Yeah, Lethality, playing extremely strong. Like I said, he is head and shoulders above his team in terms of frags. He's the only one that's positive on his team for the season, and he's letting it show. He is putting a hurting on Lavender with relative ease.
HardFluff just aggressing straight up middle, looking for anything it could possibly find. Lethality is getting answered on to Banana, though, with nothing there to trade. And 1 player was already rotated all the way around, and he's gone back the other direction. Classic says, let me take the AWP on the round. And they're going to go walk their way back towards A. And the reason they're doing that is you've got HardFluff in firm control at Arches. The thing is, though, is look at this direction change from Harlow and Leaves. This could throw a lot of problems in the way of Lavender. The first kill to go to him for Dank, but HardFluff finds 1 at B, and now it's just last man standing. Doppler's at the B bomb site. Gets HardFluff on the cross, but the kill isn't quite there. Bomb will get planted handily, but it's still going to be a 3v4 retake with both Harlow and HardFluff bleeding from ear to ear. One singular fork will do the difference. Put it in them and they'll be done. One staying on bomb, one at new bombs, two at banana. It's a good setup from Lavender. Everyone one direction at this point from Interfire. Should, by all intents purposes, go to Interfire, or Lavender, excuse me, on the retake. The Molly's going to burn him alive, but he's going to stay in it long enough to get the kill. Last man standing inside construction. Bomb taken away, and Pat to find the kill. So, a 2-0 start with pistol underneath them switches into a 11-4 finish for Lavender Esports. So definitely not the half they expected to have. And they're going to go right into the waiting hands of the CT spawn. And they got 1-2 kills, and Pat and Tank combined for those. And it's going to be a B execution. Look at this, though. Good response from Lavender. They said, no, you can take banana control, but I'm going to aggress into your banana, and that's exactly what they've done. Frost is now at the awkward angle exchange. Classic's got a good chance here to win the duel, and he does. He finds the head of Frost. So that's perfect Counter-Strike there. So you know that they've taken over a CT spawn. They're coming in behind you. Instead of waiting in B site and being passive, you aggress and you shut down what you know is to be a B split. So that's perfect. That is getting asked a question and answering with your own answer there from Lavender Esports. And the pause comes in here as Interfire's got to decide what to do next.
Freaking questionception over here, my lord. But you're absolutely right. It's almost like the best example that I have of what you just saw outside of Inferno, right, is Dust 2. And if people are doing a mid to B on Dust 2 and you are a B player, the best thing that you can do is aggress into those B tunnels. It's typically where the less number of players are, and it's your way of trying to gain control back in a situation where your team has lost control. That way you're not sitting passive, you're not getting sandwiched, you're dictating how those fights go. So a great job there by Classic, and I don't even know who it was it Dank or Pat, to aggress into that banana to make sure that they fought on their terms to figure it out. And yeah, a great round from Lavender on the response of the aggression from Interfire.
All I know is Dank and Pat combined for the 2 CT kills. I think it probably was HardFluff.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's fine.
Here comes the fight, though. The T-side spawn is all inside B right now. They've got the MP9s on the exchange. The MAC-10s are right on the other side of that half wall. Can they get anything done? They will. They'll eventually get the trades. The battle was good. The players were even better. And there you go. Take on the spawns from that FAMAS. Lethality will get across with 26 HP. He'll try to get this bomb plant for his team. May be able to do so. Yeah, they will. They'll slow down a little bit. Right now, they don't want to risk that he gets another kill. He's going to actually go into the smoke. Oh, which could have been interesting as one player completely turned around for the flash. But thankfully, Classic's well aware. 6 rounds will go to Lavender. So, just in case you're keeping count at home, guys, that is 4 total rounds that's gone to Lavender at the very start of each half. That is a 4-round swing. Normally, in most cases, when you get those swings your way, you will dominate the game of Counter-Strike. But right now, they are down 5 additional rounds. This first real gun round that comes after this round will be the biggest test. Right now, you'll see Interfire and Co. They'll go with one more save because they just invested heavily into MAC-10s.
Yeah, so Tech 9, Deagles, P250. We've seen them be extremely deadly with these pistols, though. So I don't count them out of any kind of round right now. They've stolen at least 2 with pistols, and I wouldn't be surprised if they steal another.
Good FAMAS kills again from Tank and Shuba, and there's another headshot in response. Just staying aggressive. The USP is going to be strong enough to kill some players with no armor, and Harlow will be the last victim. Now 4 rounds away from a tied game, but now here's the problem. You've got Lethality on the AWP. He was incredible defensively. Let's see how he can be offensively and impact the rounds.
Yeah, and he's got 4 AKs behind him with full utility across the board on those 4 players. When you look, and you're still at an MP9 and 3 FAMASs on the side of Lavender, so this is basically a bonus round for them. They're going to keep whatever guns they have. They just need to have a good plan for that MP9 and a good plan for these FAMASs to be in positions to win whatever fights they're going to encounter.
And here you go. Look at this. Aggression coming from Lavender. HardFluff redirects. I love that they had both 2 different setup strategies. They had the one-way throw smoke inside the boiler. They had the 1 3-man setup towards B. And, you know, this is good. This is what you want to see, especially with an MP9 and FAMASA's in play. You might as well get aggressive. You might as well start the pace of the game. And there you go. Pat's going to throw one more smoke bottom banana, which will be good. Should create separation. The only thing about that smoke is now they're going to know directionally exactly where he's at. Because they should have been looking at it when he threw it. Looked like they were anyway, but look, they don't even know. They're going to kind of simply delay and wait for the smoke to fade away. A good flash to come from top banana. So right now what you want to see is you want to see Dank and Pat combine for at least 2 kills. They're already up in numbers, so if they can get 2 and get those even trades, they can definitely control this round. Here we go. Pat makes secondary contact. Dank will get 1. It would be great to see him get another. He's actually going to be able to get out of banana. And Harlow is also in trouble. Dank, do not regress that angle. Good. He falls back and goes right back into sight. This is a good one-and-done angle right here. This should allow him to at least get 1 for Harlow. He'll find the headshot. The Deagle comes out. He finds another. And he almost makes the difference there until Lethality finally gets the kill. He's got an AWP. He's going to go for the plant. He's going to stick it hard. And Shuba will let him have it through the smoke. Lethality will find one more in HardFluff, but there you go. Shuba, like he was swinging from the edges, comes across and ends up killing Lethality. So 3 rounds away now. Looking good for Lavender. That was a good, strong buy round from Interfire, and they really had no answers.
Yeah, the plan going forward from Lavender there with the buy that they had, or the save that they had, right, with the 3 FAMASAs, an MP9 and M4, was great. They go for that boiler setup to set up themselves up for 1 early kill. They don't re-aggress. They have banana control. They're able to pick up 1 out of that, and then Dank is able to go to work and find 2 on the execute. So a really nice job from Lavender there. Again, it's coming down to, you know, a little bit of some scrappy Counter-Strike is the way that they decide that they're going to win these rounds, but it's a little bit more convincing on their CT side, which is nice. So they need to, if I'm Lavender, I think you still need to control the pace. You still need to have your early smokes, your early control banana. Make sure that, you know, they're not just all the way up banana, because I think if you let this team and Interfire have control anywhere, they're going to exploit it and make you pay.
And you're going to see that exactly. You're going to see 3 players, firm control, top banana. Their grenades are strong from Interfire, but not strong enough. Classic is happy to still have 60 HP on the round. Harlow right on the other side of half wall. Ooh, look, the flashes. The timing, it's almost perfect for Lavender, but the change there actually ends up going their way. I thought it was going to go the other way for a minute, but Classic pulls it back. Bomb is down, top banana. The fact that he stays there is a little bit shocking, but I get it. He wants to make sure he can control the bomb. The utility to support from this team has finally arrived, and they're all there with him now. Lethality takes a couple of shots through the smoke, leaves as well. Molly will force Classic back out. He'll stay alive. He'll get to go to half wall. The AWP from HardFluff. The exchange. Classic gets the 4th. Beautiful, beautiful round. Excuse me, 3rd. Beautiful round from Lavender. They really did that damn thing, right? They had 3 in firm control banana, 2 got the exchange early, and then Classic was just there to show up as the 3rd and pick up what remained.
Yeah, they absolutely made the conscious effort to say we're going to utility dump towards banana. We're going to make sure that we hold this top banana, which was the correct call. Interfire showed some aggression with a pop flash. Almost goes their way, but unfortunately for them, Classic was around. And Classic and Dank right now, both sitting on 22 kills. Absolutely going back mode for this team, as the next closest is 8 at HardFluff and Shuba. So keep watching these guys, as they are winning rounds for their team in the most impactful way that they can.
I didn't even realize it was so significant, but yeah, that's huge. And now you've got an opportunity for Shuba to show up big on the scoreboard. HardFluff is there as well. They've got to combine for an entire team kill here, but the headshot with a P250 will end up claiming Shuba's life. The AWP cannot make the shot at Moto, but there is still a good round in front of them, as they've got a 4v2. They will reclaim the M4, but the plant is not in sight. He's at the very back of Big Pit. They'll try to re-smoke for Moto, and that will work well. Lethality to get sprayed down, and Classic to find the other. So a good round from Lavender there. Shuba would have loved to have more, but the flying P250 catches them off there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like, you know, Lavender's starting to kind of settle into their own. And honestly, it looks like Inner Fire just doesn't know exactly what they want to do in these rounds. Every time they try and do something, it immediately gets disrupted by either Classic or Dank. Typically on this take, that round right there, HardFluff had a couple nice kills with the op from the A site. So it looks like you're going to get a little bit more of an A side aggression. Apartments for sure. 3 players going up and in for Inner Fire, and they're going to go for some quick bracket control.
And they're going to get it. Shuba's gone. They're right in where they want to be. HardFluff's got a chance to get one. He does. It makes a little bit of a difference, but there's really no one in sight, no one available. It's going to be a 4v4 retake attempt out of the hands of Lavender. The grenades are nowhere contacting on site. Bracket control is there. One player gets dropped from Pat. One more comes around porch side. Dank and Pat combining for a total whirlwind here at the side of brackets. They're up in the middle. They're looking for more. Frost gets aggressive with the flash. Harlow in trouble, and they will lose the round. A beautiful retake coming in from Dank and Co. But you're right. Chat is right as well. Dank and Classic right now are literally 2v5ing this Inner Fire team. And let's be a little bit fair. Kills do make a difference, but at the same time, when your players are hot, you got to go with the hot hand and set them up for success. And that's what Lavender's doing right now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily what Lavender is deciding or what Inner Fire is deciding by allowing these players to just absolutely dominate them. Dank still finds a 3K right there, and they didn't even go towards B. So he's able to rotate and find all the kills to clean that site up. They're both just playing out of their mind, you know. As soon as you get in that groove and you're feeling it, man, watch out.
Important to mention, this is now a tied game, 11-11. I mean, again, this was a 2-round game for Lavender. They only had 2 rounds right before we went into switch. Now, they were able to finish 11-4, and then they were able to win the following consecutive 2 rounds after Pistol. But that's a big climb for Lavender B where they are now.
Well, they're up 7 rounds to none in the second half so far. CT side looking very strong.
Absolutely. And it's really now Inner Fire who looks slow and looks sluggish. Side of 2 tails, half of 2 sides.
What the?
Heads and 2 flashes.
Okay, all right. We're here. Here we are.
It's got a 5-man presence at A. 1's in apartments, 4 in lane. There you go. A HardFluff free kill from Frost. There was no flash, no utility being used to force that off. You got 1 terrace lethality looking back towards Banana, but the aggression there is just perfect. They've got a good angle that can help them control Banana without really giving up that information. They're going to throw 1 smoke onto left middle, and they're going to go straight up lane right into this fight, and in this crossfire should not go any other way but to Team Lavender. The first kill on a Classic. Easy kill for Shuba. Looking for more, and it's going to be had. Classic and Shuba combined for that one. Now, lethality is just going to look for something. Eventually, Dank rotates into him. He's going to go back his way into apartments where there's only 1 second left to play. And there you go. 12-11. Lavender to take the lead for the first time in this game since the 2-0 start.
And that's now 8 rounds to 0 on their CT side. From 11-4 to 12-11. They have swung this in their favor convincingly off the backs of Dank and Classic. I mean, it can't be said enough how much work they're putting in. That round right there, HardFluff opens it up. Great job, finding the first kill, giving numbers up. And then the team really, like you said, that crossfire from pit and sight was absolutely beautiful. They worked their way around the smokes and just clean everything up. It's looking very good for Lavender right now. The big question mark is, Inner, where's your aggression? Right? They had tempo changes and setups and everything on CT side. We haven't seen any of that on this T side. So here you go with 2 Tech 9s, 2 Deagles, that op saved in lethality. And they got to figure out how to respond to the control that Lavender is putting on them.
It's really the CT side. It's not that the CT side is just overwhelmingly strong, but both of these teams have put serious work into the way that their CT is designed. And you can tell the T side's more of an afterthought. Or at least they haven't been challenged by teams that play CT quite as well as they do. And again, you're going to give up bracket control to the opposing team. There's going to be some counter utility being thrown. but they are not going to be fooled. Here we go. Classic decides to get aggressive, gets one kill, but does some damage to another. HardFluff is there to respond, gets the first kill with the AWP. You got one more player there with it. HardFluff does not need to re-peek into that op, but he will! Lethality deleted. Almost gets the next with Frost with that close Tech 9. And he's got the op in response. Shuba could be in trouble. The grenade is going to miss, but he's got that Tech 9. He's going to jump onto him right on top of his head. Shuba can't do anything.
It's not funny.
It's a little funny. Shuba's head continues to get blown up by pistols. I don't know what it is.
I mean, Tech 9's dog, you know?
Tech 9s, B250s, it doesn't matter. Shuba's head is catching these hands. Dank to come out of apartments. You got Pat on rotation from Moto. Frost with the AWP. On the angle is not going to look up at apartments, but Doppler is. Doesn't matter. Dank shows him up, and both of them up for that matter as Frost loses his life. The defuse will be easy for Pat, who is just glad to be alive to see this round take place. HardFluff Tank with 2 kills to make that happen. Classic gets one of his own, and the AWP and the AK are what they carry over into the following round. 2 rounds up, 3 rounds away.
Bro, just imagine Dank, like, his eyes are just as wide as they could possibly be, and he's like an inch from his monitor right now. I mean, to look back to sight after you catch the player out of the corner of your eye, or at least I would assume on my POV I saw it, and to hit a 1-bullet headshot to then flick back to the pit to make sure you clean up the op. The kid's dialed in right now. It's impressive to see.
He's absolutely on the level of a robot right now, right? And to your credit, he definitely didn't have a good angle on that player at sight. I thought the sight player was going to close him easily because he was out looking at apartments, but he turned on him, and HardFluff will try to make the timing work there. They're going to go straight up into lane. They're going to challenge Shuba and Classic here early. Classic will open us up with 1. They're going to right into Shuba. Shuba will get a free kill onto one other, and Lethality also going to get dropped from Shuba, and there we go. Last man apartments. He's low, and he's dropped. HardFluff to open up with 1 as well. So this is not looking good for Interfire. The good news about their T side is at least they're being a little more aggressive. They're trying to change some things up, but Lavender is just too good right now.
Yeah, this passive A setup is absolutely eating Interfire alive. So even though they go with the tempo change right there, they try and be a little bit quicker into brackets on the A hit, it doesn't matter because of how passive Lavender is playing. They have 2 in sight, 1 towards Moto. You're not catching anybody off guard with that. So a great job from Lavender there. I mean, that's 10 rounds in a row. 10 in a row, 5 alive. This is troublesome for Interfire. They don't have answers.
No, they don't. And Lavender is not showing any signs of slowing down. They get their B aggression on. The utility is trying to answer back in the hands of Interfire, but the answer is just quite simply, you can't have B. We're not going to give it to you. We're going to continue to take this control over, and you can try to take it later on in the round if you'd like, but right now it belongs to us. And you can see the hesitation on the rotation. Interfire definitely wants to go into B. Pat will be the first man to take contact if they decide to go through that smoke. If they wait until the smoke clears, he'll still be the first man to take contact as your boosted player is sitting right above him at a little lesser angle. This works out really well for most players, though. I'm going to go ahead and take it on Dank. Dank's going to open us up huge here. 1 player, 1 shot. Pat will get the trade. I think that was a little bit different than the way they intended that. I think Pat was supposed to get first contact. Doesn't matter. It's a 2v2. Both players will drop. They'll do their job and they'll get their rolls. Classic will get in the back of sight on rotation. He's got the next opportunity to try to make the difference. But the plant's going to go back sight, so Classic has no chance to make an attempt. Yeah, there's no shots that he'll find through that smoke. And now it's just a matter of letting the smoke fade down. It doesn't matter. I'm just joking. He finds the shots.
Just kidding.
New box is low as well. The lineup was really good. Shuba will eventually find that one, and now there's just 1 more player inside Banana, and he's low. So low. Classic eventually finds him, and there's the free defuse. The second I'm like, all right, well, he's not going to spray anybody through that smoke at that angle, he turns around and does it yet once more and lines up 2 players, almost getting 2 kills through the smoke. Just beautiful job from him staying aggressive on that, and you're 1 round away from winning this game in convincing fashion.
I mean, are you surprised? I'm freaking shocked right now. I don't know how you've put up 11 in a row, looking for 12 to end the game, without anything from Inner Fire. Anything. That was their most promising round right there, and they still didn't look good in it. Great job from Lavender right now.
Right back into a B execution. They're going up straight with nades. They're sitting right on the other side of half wall. Tank to throw a smoke out. Molly to go deep, but they don't know how close they are. Harlow and Frost would love to open this up and finally find an answer, and they will. 2 kills, 3 kills make that go towards their way, and now they've got B wide open. CTs have the money to go for this, but a op rotation is going to be difficult to find no matter what. When you say a change of pace, the utility's just not going to the right place for Lavender there. They nade too deeply. The flank rotation from Leaves will get the last 2. So just as soon as we start calling this one done, Inner Fire shows up with a round, and now there's a chance. They've got 3 more they need to pick up.
Shout out to Messi in the chat right now. About time they take some B map control early. Absolutely. And that's been, I think that was a big problem on both sides of the T halves, both for Inner and Lavender, is, you know, everybody was so heavy towards mid, so heavy towards brackets. There wasn't enough B control at all. And here you see it. Inner Fire goes ahead. They take control quickly. They catch Lavender off guard for 3 quick kills and a round.
The Lavender response there was, we're gonna pre-nade 3 ways. We're gonna throw smokes to the bottom there, and then we're gonna give up B control. So I love that. I love the utility dump from them. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it definitely talks about how upset they were about losing that trade exchange, and they're happy to now be in another fight. I love that they're staying 3 strong banana. There's not been any clear number calls, even though they are strong on the passive side today. They're not worrying about what they are or are not hearing. They're not forcing the B to rotate off. And here in a minute left, what is your answer as a CT? Do you stay passive all game, or do you start to look for answers? Because right now, the T side doesn't really know what they want to do. They're going to start redirecting, maybe towards A with bomb pickup. So now, what do you do at B? You all 3 stay a little bit too long. Classic can start rotating over. I would love to see a flash pop banana to get control, but it doesn't matter. It's going to come down to the A players to make the difference here. HardFluff finds the first at apartments. More players inside bracket. They're going to go for the arch play. Right into the waiting hands of HardFluff, who's completely blinded. Shuba's going to be on an island now at Big Pit. He really just needs to get one single kill. Cannot find it. It's a 3v4 now. On the retake, all players coming from CTs, one-dimensional on this defense approach to retake. And I would almost prefer to see a save call at this point. CT money is starting to hurt. You could really use an M4 and bring it in next round, especially if you can bring 3 in. They're not going to win this retake. I don't think they win this retake, Matt. Just save the round. Get out of there.
Yep, I agree. Especially at this point. You haven't found a kill. Nothing doing. There you go. As the fallback happens, looks like Pat's going to stick around just a little bit extra, see if he can make something happen. Not going to be given anything. And yeah, there you go. There's a second round in a row. The second of the half for Inner Fire.
Hello? So Pat just decided, he was like, you know what, there's going to be at least one sitting back site or back pit. Let me go see if I can cause him to die from bomb. Was that worth the loss of your money, though, Pat? That's the question. And I think I'm going to answer that question with no. I don't think it's worth you losing that M4.
Yeah, can somebody do a Pat check real quick? Did he fall asleep and potentially just, like, hold his finger on W right there on accident? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know on that one, bud.
Clearly a thought of simply, I want to cost them money. Maybe he was thinking there was more in pit there, and it wasn't just one player that he can make the difference to. Maybe he was thinking there would be multiple. But nonetheless, he gets the 1 kill because of it. But, again, it's a full investment. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, even if he kills another, it doesn't matter on the buy. It's just odd.
Classic nades down. They're going half wall control again. T's on the other side, really just at the bottom of ramp at this point. Their grenade is 4 half wall, but no one is there. And here we go. Terrorists are starting to work their way up. The smoke will buy some more time. The shot for Dank. He's going to jump over on top of the head and look for kills. There it is. He's going to secure 1 on a Harlow. That's perfect positioning from Lavender. They get the 1 kill. They fall right back into B control. Good decisions. Classic can go all the way back around to A. He can help the team set up. This is, again, where you're going to worry, right? You got HardFluff by himself at Pit, Shuba by himself at Moto. But with Classic rotating, he can watch watch Arch, and now Shuba's in sight, and they've got a crossfire set up together. So this could be perfect for Lavender, especially if A is the way they're going to go, which it looks to be the way they're going to go at this moment. Frost, very bottom of Banana. Lethality, Leaves, and Doffless are going to start to fall the other way. Bombs going towards Banana. Maybe a bit of a split take here, actually. They've smoked off Moto. They're going to go directly towards Arches. It's going to be a B split, and they're going to have no problem doing it. HardFluff is going to be on an island. He's probably not going to be able to challenge. And so now you've got, really, why are we switching over? A situation where Dank is going to have to come to life. He's going to get one, make that two. He's got everything he needs. Pat opens up another one. It's Doppler's to win the game. He's got to make this huge, and it doesn't happen. HardFluff finds the kill, and somehow Lavender makes it work. They go the distance in the secondary half, and just as things finally start to go the way of Inner Fire, they figure things out. And good news for Lavender after the forfeit win. They are now 3-3 on the season with a .500 record, and they are looking to move forward. Inner Fire will drop to 3-4, so they are now underneath that 500 record. But that is not something to scoff at. That was a very good CT team.